Welcome everybody to Lunch Without Lunch, the weekly rainforest, call it meetup, information session, collision, connection time, whatever you want to label it. We're open. I am just having the slowest computer action right now. Here we go. Here comes the share screen. So if it's your first time to this event called Lunch Without Lunch, you are more than welcome to eat your lunch. So pull it out and put your camera on regardless. We want to be able to see your face in this virtual setting. PC's laughing in a bit. We'll find out who PC is eventually. We are Rainforest Alberta. We have two, call them chapters of Rainforest across Alberta. One here in Calgary, where I am community manager. My name's Bridget Legault. Welcome. And we have a steering committee up in Edmonton who helps to activate the rainforest movement there. We are a non-entity. We're not a nonprofit. Two negatives. And we are not a company. We are not even a technical organization. We're just a movement of people working together to build this innovative economy around trust, diversity, collaboration, and all this good stuff. We'll show them a movie here in just a moment to give you a bit more context around that. Prior to getting started, we always like to acknowledge the land in which we live, work, and play upon. So those are in Calgary, the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, where I am directly located, the Stoney Nakoda Nation, and the Métis Nation Region 3. For those of you in Edmonton or in other areas, please feel free to add that acknowledgement into the chat. You know, we always throw out to the crowd here that we'd love to have others come and share what truth and reconciliation path they might be on. And at the end of the month, we reflect on Truth and Reconciliation Day. So building up to that, if there's anyone who would like to share their story as they continue to learn about the real history of our country and our people, please feel free to put your hand up and do so. We'd love to hear the journey you're on to inspire others to continue their learning as well. So we'll move on to a little video about what is the rainforest.
What does it take to realize an idea, or for a seed to sprout? At Rainforest Alberta, we know the answer is rooted in trust. Traditionally, Albertans have cultivated their ideas in established systems. Inputs that don't fit these systems are weeded out. Opportunities for growth are missed. But now, Albertans want a dynamic landscape that can evolve organically, like a rainforest. At Rainforest Alberta, we believe a culture of trust is the fertile soil where ideas grow. Our budding innovation ecosystem is a network of relationships pulling each other up as they push forward in their own field. Trust breaks down barriers. An open, inclusive network increases collaborative innovation. Successful breakthroughs inspire new ideas. A cycle begins. Rainforest Alberta is a movement to amplify trust by cultivating honesty, inclusion, and accountability. How? Our social contract holds us accountable to demonstrate trust across the province. We meet to have honest conversations around collaboration. This leads to more inclusive spaces for everyone to fearlessly build new ideas together. By raising the standard of trust, Alberta's ideas, talent, and resources can be evergreen. Visit rainforestab.ca to sign the social contract and start growing together.
All right, so for those of you who are new to us, I'll put the link in the chat here in a moment. On our website, you're able to sign that social contract, which we spoke about. So these are 10 values that we all agree to work in living these values out. So it's all about paying it forward, sharing our ideas openly, supporting each other in our endeavors so we can lift each other up. The rainforest analogy is based on this book and research conducted by two entrepreneurs and academics down in the States. It's called The Rainforest Secrets to Building the Next Silicon Valley. So this is ecosystem work that was done, over a decade ago. There has been tons of ecosystem development literature and research that has been published over the years. If you like nerding out on that kind of stuff like I do, reach out. I've got lots of great books that I can lend or that you can pick up yourself in regards to how we build a stronger ecosystem. So this is what we believe at Rainforest makes up this ecosystem, these 6 pillars here, and they are all weighted differently to balance out this kind of biodiversity within the rainforest. We focus pretty heavily here in the actual rainforest activities and the culture and leadership engaged activities and role modeling pillars, though all of the people working within this startup community or tech or innovation ecosystem, however you want to label it, all participate in these various pillars in different ways throughout their work. So we are supporting startup founders, scale-ups, but mainly startups, and building up this innovative economy here in the province. So if you'd like to connect on that, I'll put my email in the chat if anybody wants to have one-on-one conversations. I have fewer of those these days just because of other work I do. So I just wanted to put that out there to everybody if you're looking to have a deeper conversation about any of this ecosystem development and or just become or get some referrals into some other organizations in the community if you're looking for help in particular areas. I will put an ask out to all of you. Right now, we are working to access new audiences in the city so we can bring awareness to careers in technology as well as entrepreneurship as a viable path, journey, or profession. There we go. So we want the general population of Calgary to have a really good understanding of all of the programs and resources that are available for these 2 streams of work, careers in tech and entrepreneurship. And so if you are part of community associations, faith groups, churches, community centers, and you're active within any of those communities outside of the tech space, and you'd like to participate in some of this outreach that we're doing, we're really just getting to know new organizations, taking them out for coffee, maybe doing a presentation, joining some of the events they have going on in Calgary, and just sharing what the ecosystem has to offer. If you want to participate in any way, that email I shared, my email is where you can connect in with me to chat about that further. So enough about all of that. Let's talk about how to make the most of this hour. So if you haven't already, I see some folks have, introduce yourself in the chat, use the DM functions and connect directly with someone who's piqued your interest. If you see something on their LinkedIn profile that maybe would complement the work you're doing or vice versa. Put your camera on if you can. We know that's not always possible, but it's great to see faces, especially when we go back to sometimes we do lunch without lunch in person or through a hybrid. It's nice to be able to recognize folks that we've seen in previous weeks and connect with them more quickly. Make sure to ask questions in the chat, and then we'll get to the questions when the time is right. So be patient if it's not immediate. And then we'll have a bit of a Q&A portion after our presentation today. And then lastly, we do have some time where we go into smaller breakout rooms at the end of the hour. Please do not disappear. I challenge you to stick around and participate in those breakout rooms, because that is where you're really going to get to build some deeper relationships with folks in the community. And yes, we do all of this in 1 hour. And we have a Slack channel, so you can check out the lunch notes there. That is the capture of the chat. If there's any info there you want to see later, we record these sessions and put them on our YouTube channel for future, if you want to check them out there. And lastly, we just want to make sure, that's our social contract there. So I'll give a quick second for anyone who has not signed the social contract to scan this QR code and get on it. Or as my 5-year-old says, scan the QR code, Okay, and here's one last code for you. This is our digital platform. We call it the Digital Rainforest Inkly. This is where outside of this hour, you can continue to connect with not only the folks in this room, but all sorts of people in the broader community. We have investors, founders, program partners, all sorts of folks on this platform. And you can ask a question about absolutely anything you're curious about in regards to building your tech product, service, and or your tech career, or just ask anything about life, because there's some diverse perspectives there. And you'll get really specific knowledgeable people who know about the question you're asking, who are able to answer your question. We're trying to build up a little more activity on this platform, so I'd strongly encourage everybody to get in there right now. Rainforest.inkly.com is the other way to access it. And if you have any questions about the TAC that we're going to learn about today, the Technology Access Center, if you have questions about something you just had a meeting about this morning, I don't know, just get on there and be curious and ask questions, because it's a great way to have free flow of that tacit knowledge that lives in people's brains, not the stuff you can chat GPT or Google. All right, we will move along. We will move right out of this is what we will do. And I'm going to turn it over to, if you've been around over the summer, we've been learning about the various technology access centers that exist throughout the province. And today we have folks up in Edmonton, correct? From a TAC that focuses on, oh my gosh, I had the description right in front of me and now it's gone. So I'm gonna, oh, there we go. Sensors and system integration, riveting stuff. We have all of the TAC presentations on our YouTube channel as well. So if you are interested in aquaculture, aquaponics, what else did we have? We had our Olds Ag Tech is coming next week. We've had the manufacturing facility up at Red Deer Polytechnic. And others. I can't remember them all, and I had to miss a few, unfortunately. But all of these access centers exist to provide services, I believe mostly free, but we'll let the folks from this TAC share more information and tons of resources for building really particular technologies and products in the province. So I'm going to pass it over to Victoria and Susanna, who are going to share all about this TAC with us here today. And don't forget to throw your questions in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. And before, I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Are you guys seeing my presentation slide deck? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Susanna there. Awesome. Thank you so much for everyone for attending this Lunch Without Lunch today. We are super thrilled to educate yourselves on what is NAIT's Applied Research Center and our Technology Access Center for Sensors and System Integration. So thank you, Bridget and the team, for having us on today. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but so we're trying to give just a general overview for today, and we do welcome any questions, as well as we'll have our contact information at the end. So in getting started, I'd like to introduce myself, Victoria Popick. So I am Business Development Associate for the Technology Access Center for Sensors and System Integration. Yes, it is a tongue twister. So do feel free to use our abbreviated name, TAXI or CSSI. So a little bit of background for myself. I've been with the center for just over a year now, and I come from a background, I actually am a NAIT graduate myself, studying in business management. So having built a career within construction and small business development, I was super excited to go on board and join the amazing team here and really work upon innovation and being able to really help small to medium to large organizations and individuals develop technology that ultimately drives Alberta and Canada forward. So that's just a high level about myself, and I'll pass it off to my colleague here that's on the call as well, Susanna, to do a little brief bio and introduction for herself.
Awesome. Thanks, Victoria. So I'm Susanna. If you're wondering about my huge last name, I am originally from Brazil. I did my mechanical technician program there, and then I came to Canada, did part of my electronic engineering here and part there. And then I did my master's here at the University of Alberta here in Edmonton. And I've been with the center for almost 4 years now. I'm a research associate there, and I'm qualified as a technical lead. So a lot of the projects we get, I'm one of the person that actually leads them and make sure everything is delivered. Awesome. Yeah, back to you, Victoria.
Thank you so much, Susanna. So I know you've had a few of our technology access centers present on these Lunches Without Lunches. So we are one within NAIT. So NAIT does have 3. So there's our center, the Center for Sensors and System Integration. There's our Center for Oil Sand Sustainability, as well as our Center for Boreal Research. So per each institute, you can only have a maximum of 3 technology access centers at this time. So we are one of those 3, and we're actually also one of the very first technology access centers to ever be a part of the ecosystem. So we are supported by NSERC. So there's 60 technology access centers across Canada, and we work with every single one of them in some form or capacity. So it's been really great ecosystem, and that's essentially why Bridget asked if we could be a part of these Lunches Without Lunches, is to just educate yourselves as to what is all out there and how we ultimately just want to help SMEs and small to medium to large to clients all just grow in innovation and the resources that are there. So our center is housed within Edmonton's on their main campus, so the Productivity and Innovation Center, as well as you can see in my background here, kind of the night view of it. So we have tons of different capabilities. We have 8 applied research centers within NAIT itself. 3, as mentioned, are technology access centers, and we're all part of this ecosystem to just help drive innovation forward. So a little bit about our team in particular. So our center opened up in 2011 with 3 individuals. Very quickly, our team has grown to now we have actually 25 research professionals, all within different areas, from our research chair, which focuses on industrial automation. We have various senior electronical technicians and engineers, project managers, system specialists, analysts, research students, as well as business development. So we've definitely grown within a very short period of time, which is great because we've been able to really help hundreds and hundreds of different companies be able to drive their innovations forward. So where is our field of expertise? Well, CSSI within NAIT is very, very unique in that we are industry diagnostic. So we can help any form of industry, whether it be animal health, human health innovation, whether it be a hobbyist looking to improve upon a board game, whether it's developing robotics, fully autonomous systems. We can help in any form of capacity, especially because our areas of expertise are very broad in the sense that we do sensors development, we do prototyping and fabrication. So anytime you have, whether it's a napkin idea and you need it to be built from the ground up, our team can help you. Or if you have a prototype that's already in the works and you're just needing some consultation as to what sensors to implement, or you're kind of at a hurdle as to next steps, our team is here to help you be able to do that analysis to move your innovation forward. This could include different types of systems integrations, as well as electronics, digitization. We also have additive manufacturing and 3D printing in plastic as well as metal. And we are very, very excited to announce that we also have one of Edmonton's very first 5G hub connections, and that it's embedded within NAIT in our Productivity and Innovation Center. And we also have a portable hub. So we're allowed to take it and able to take it to remote locations to test our clients' technologies within these areas that they may need to be active within. As well as, of course, obviously automation. That's totally within our wheelhouse, and we're here to help you with any of these fields of expertise and more. So we're actually trying to work on how best to communicate all of these skill sets because it's definitely a lot. So if you do have any questions or any specifics, I do have some time at the end. Feel free to ask, and myself and Susanna will be able to answer those for you. So what are some services we offer? Well, because we are a part of NAIT in the academic portfolio, we have a very unique team, which is our Applied Research and Grants and Development team, and that's a service that we can offer. So whether that's leveraging existing funds, federal or provincial funds, we have the capabilities within our team to be able to work on grant project innovations. We also do a lot of knowledge to practice, not only within our center, as well as within all of Applied Research and NAIT. So this is something that we're really, really passionate about as NAIT, is to be able to educate the industry forward on what are capabilities. So different centers have different levels of this currently. So whether it be external, internal, or just within NAIT and to other students, that's definitely a passion of ours and a service we offer. We also do a generic fee-for-service product innovation. So we have sometimes clients that just come in, they want to do a fee-for-service direct, quick turnaround, whether it be 24 hours to 3-month turnaround, we can definitely do that. That's totally within our capabilities. As well as different industry programs, we also have the capabilities to work with. And of course, if you haven't heard already, being a part of the Technology Access Center ecosystem, there is a program called the Interactive Visit Program, or iVisits, which allow eligible Canadian SMEs that are 500 employees and under to be able to do prototype analysis within a 20 to a 55-hour engagement with our TAC or various TACs across Canada at a very low cost. So what that means is for a 20-hour interactive iVisit, this could be a consultation, it could be whatever you in the specific TAC want to work upon. It's a very low fee of $250 to the client to access 20 hours of the TAC's time. So it's a great resource. It's an opportunity that allows relationship building and be able to, again, help innovation drive forward. So what does this all mean? And what are some benefits into working with us? Well, we really work with a trusted advisory board. So we work with not only internal, but also external advisors just to see if there's something that we're missing within our ecosystem. And we do quite often reviews just to improve our capabilities to learn how we can help more within the ecosystem. We also, as NAIT as a whole, is very intellectual IP friendly, and that we do not retain IP. And that is not within NAIT's wheelhouse. We do not want to get into that. So all IP is under ownership of the company. And we definitely sign NDAs. We have contracts, and we can definitely do that if the client would like to do so. And yeah, just not our wheelhouse, not our area that NAIT wants to get into. We also involve a lot of students within our project. So it's actually super unique with our particular team, in that actually 50% of our team members are NAIT graduates in one or more programs. So we're super, super proud about that. I myself being one of them. And a lot of the students actually started in our center as interns that then became now full-time project managers and leaders. So whether that they got employed with a client that we worked with and got some industry experience and came back, and vice versa, where they came from working in a project, they come to work with our center. And so we're really proud that we're able to really keep a fresh mind and be able to help students actually put their knowledge to practice. We also, as I mentioned, have our grants and proposals team that is super skilled at being able to leverage our funds and capabilities that are out there to see what other grants and opportunities for funding are available. Our team, as I mentioned, we have a very skilled, diverse skill set of our team of 25 professionals. And we also work well with many other centers and institutions. So we've worked with various colleges such as Red Deer Polytechnic, Lakeland College, NAIT, U of A, all across Canada. We've worked with other, whether it's institutes or other companies and centers, as well as some internationally that we've worked with too. So I'll hand it off now to Susanna, who will talk about some of our project highlights, because she has been a part of the two that we definitely want to briefly touch on today. And so Susanna, I'll let you take it away to talk about some of those awesome projects our team has taken on.
For sure. So the first project we have there, the autonomous truck inspection. This one, we had a real nice challenge. Our client there had some big trucks in a mine, and they needed to inspect those trucks. However, the time to do that was pretty short. They have the trucks in a line to go to the site, and then they fuel the trucks. They wanted to do that in a space of seconds to minutes so that they could fuel the trucks, and then we inspect them with the sensors that are on the table over there. We have the sensors installed on the trucks. We have the cameras. Everything sends back the information to the little robot you see. The robot goes out, checks everything, checks the tires, checks everything on the trucks, and goes back to its little house. So it was a nice one, full of automation, full of sensors, which is what we are, center and system integrations. Beautiful there. If you want to check more about this, we do have a YouTube video on our channel, and it has the robot moving, how it works, just beautifully done. The second project we have, it's the electrokinetics remediation. This one was a cooperation between us and several different parties. Basically, one university had an idea about this, but they only had a concept. They came to us, we had funding from different companies. We built together their idea, and we actually created a functional prototype to go on site to remediate a site. Problem was they had soil contaminated with salt, and they wanted a new method to get rid of that salt that they legally have to remove after their process. So we created the whole thing. We created the electrodes they needed to do the electrokinetics. We created the trailer you're seeing in the image right there with me inside to control everything. So it has electronics, pneumatics, pumps, everything is in there so that we can decontaminate the soil on their site. And if you're wondering, this photo was actually not staged. I was actually working on the trailer. Yeah, back to you, Victoria.
Yeah, for sure. So this definitely is a project that we have our videographer working on right now to be able to do a full series, has the idea and the evolution of, because now it actually just got launched onto site. So in a few months we'll be able, so yeah, please feel free to check out our YouTube channel to get more information on that. So here we have just some of our collaborators and partners, and there's many more that are not on here. So we've worked with various different companies all across Canada. So we just wanted to put a little bit of a snapshot, as well as applied research and how we really focus on developing from anywhere from food product development to systems, automation, and everything here. So applied research at NAIT is definitely a place to go if you have any questions. we're more than happy to help you. So I've included here our website information, our YouTube channel, which I can definitely send to Bridget and everyone can share. I can put in the chat. And if you have any questions, I've included my email address, victoriap@nait.ca, as well as Bernard J, who's our business development lead for our center as well. So any one of us, please feel free to reach at any time if you have any questions or comments. And now I actually open it up to everyone here today to see if there's any comments or questions, and we're happy to answer.
Absolutely, thanks. You're very succinct. That's great. Good timing. Anybody have questions about? I know someone asked in the chat, what is a TACs? So the TACs are the technology access centers that we've been featuring over the last, I don't know, 4 months, or sorry, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Victoria, do you maybe just want to elaborate a little more on TACs themselves and the program across the country?
For sure. So I know I briefly talked about, so again, the TACs is the abbreviated name, but the full name is the Technology Access Centers. And so it's a network that's funded by NSERC and the federal government to really be a motivator to help work with SMEs, to help them improve within the ecosystem. So there's 60 across Canada. There is a competition, so you do have to compete to be able to get this. And so they're kind of just slowly growing momentum. Within Alberta, 8 of us, there's currently, and the 8 of us has come together and really within this last year pushed out kind of the services we can offer. And that's how we kind of got in touch with Bridget to be able to showcase a lot of our TACs within Alberta. So I can definitely put a post in the chat here if you're wanting to learn a little bit more as to how to access it. I know I briefly mentioned the iVisit program. There is, unfortunately, that iVisit program is placed on hold at this point in time because all the funding has been allocated, which is great. We're building momentum for people and small SMEs to utilize the iVisit program. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do any more this year, but we can be put on a wait list if you're interested, or if you have a client or yourself are interested, to be able to, when the funding pool opens again next fiscal year, so April 1st, we can definitely be right on board with that project. So if you are interested, let me know, but I'll put it in the chat here after so you can look into more about the tax.
Yeah, thanks for that, Victoria. And I'll also just mention for further context for folks, because I've been working in the ecosystem for years and it wasn't clear to me until recently. The TACs live within post-secondaries, right? Generally speaking. And so it's not like they have a storefront or a big sign saying, enter here to manufacture a prototype for free, which is what Red Deer does, by the way. So that is part of the reason why we thought it'd be important to share these at Lunch Without Lunch, and for everybody to continue to share that these resources exist. And they're all part of the broader Alberta Innovation Network. So there are, I don't know what, 8, 9 regional innovation networks across the province, Calgary being one, in surrounding areas. And so RINS stands for Regional Innovation Network. The RINS, the TACs, the post-secondaries, and all of the other various programming and players in the ecosystem are always looking for ways to work together, share resources more broadly, because there's so much out there. So yeah, just an interesting network web that exists throughout the province. Destiny, is it? Would you like to unmute and ask a question?
Yeah, thank you. I was just wondering, as you talked about like the different partners with different companies and post-secondary institutes and stuff, I think that the collaborative process is really important, but where do you guys kind of like end and kind of go on to a third party, or how do you do that process then?
That is a great question. And Susanna, I know you're going to unmute and chime in. So do you mind if I just take a first stab and then you go? Okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome. So it really depends on the client. So our centers really focus on prototype development, and we take it really right to that stage of pre-commercialization. So we'll do all the validating, the testing, make sure it's ready to go. And then we'll hook our client up with connections to be able to do the mass production. So we're really in the development prototype phase. That's where our center really, really excels. And that can be from, as Susanna mentioned, with one of our clients, a napkin idea and a theory, and we develop the physical prototype from scratch. Or we've had also clients in the past come with an evolution of a prototype, say 5, 6 versions, 2 versions in, and they're at a stand and they're like, what do we need to do next? This is our idea. Is this working? Is it feasible? will it be something worth investing my time and energy and money into? And that's where, so it really is depending on the client. Susanna, did I miss anything or something you'd like to add on that?
No, yeah, I think you answered beautifully. Just to add a little bit, we can go, because of our expertise in the center, we can go from the mechanics to electronics, programming, networking, everything in between. So like Victoria said, client comes with us with an idea, might be an initial idea, might be more advanced. We take it from there, depending on what they want to do. Some clients, they actually want us to take just to they just wanted us to design the basic drawing, and they take that to a manufacturer for prototyping and further development. That's all right. Some clients want us to develop all the way to the first prototype, and then they take it from there.
Okay, awesome. So do you guys do like the systems development as well as like IoT?
Yes.
Correct. IoT is our jam. And then we have a little bit of mechanics on this side. And then on the other side, we do deal with a little bit of AI, which is artificial intelligence, a little bit of machine learning as well. So we can go all the way to that side on the software side.
Awesome, thank you.
Great question.
Any other questions that people might have?
Do you have any other cool use cases or projects that you've worked on that you can share without photos or anything?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So one of the projects, again, we unfortunately, due to NDAs and confidentiality, we can't always share the actual full company name or things we've worked on, but one that's been really popular that you may have heard of, and that's kind of where our actual photo is here of our background, is microplastics innovation. So I'm sure if you've driven by the North Saskatchewan River at all in the Edmonton area, you may have seen some NAIT vehicles out there doing some testing. Well, that was actually our team. And we partnered up with a company to be able to develop one of the very first freshwater sampling prototypes to determine and answer what are microplastics. Because we always hear microplastics this, but what are they actually? So we worked with this client and another center within NAIT, the Clean Technologies team, to be able to develop a freshwater sampling system that autonomously pumps 1,500 liters of water to be able to collect microplastic samples throughout various points on the North Saskatchewan River. So we've done that right from 2020. We actually developed our very first prototype all the way to now we're in version 3, which is fully autonomous, runs on solar panels, but can also be battery powered. It has a full weather station and can be fully remote automated just off a phone. And it allows our further development and research to kind of understand what are microplastics, and along the North Saskatchewan River, where are the higher traffic points and why. So we're kind of just getting into that next phase with the client, is to answering those questions. So that's one. Susanna, I'm sure you have a lot within your portfolio that you may want to touch on.
Let's cover one of my last ones. It was a medical device. So the client wanted something to put on the heel of a patient that's recovering from surgery on their leg or knee. So they basically wanted a pressure sensor on the heel to monitor if the patient is actually putting too much weight on that leg or on that foot, so that the little device would respond to it, and then the person would take the weight out of the heel so they can recover faster and with less support from the doctor. That was one of them. And then for that one, we actually created 2 different solutions, one that's purely mechanical and one that has some electronics on it based on what the client wanted. And yeah, beautifully done as well.
Yeah. So that was another great one. One in which we actually used our metal 3D printing. So we have a very unique metal 3D printer in our center, and we were working with a client who works Doctors Without Borders, and they wanted to be able to teach healers in third world countries how to remove hernias. So with them, and I wish I had it here with me to show you. So it's a spoon with a line through it to be able to actually remove hernias. So super unique. So that's what I'm saying, like, we help all industries industries, from human health to animal health to microplastics to all sorts of categories. Automation on truck inspections, we do it all.
Cool, so cool. Who
Awesome.
had their hand up there? Somebody did, right?
I had my hand up, and I was basically going to ask about, years ago, I heard about their metal 3D printing. I was just wondering if I could learn a bit more about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely, if you're able to take down my email address here, send me an email, and any specific questions you would like, more than happy to touch base with you on that. A little bit of a summary is we can have the capabilities to print in various different powders, such as cobalt, stainless steel, aluminum, as well as many, many others that we can outfit our printer with. And essentially our mass builds plate is a 12 by 12. So not huge, but be able to, again, that prototype that's within our capability. So if there's anything outside of that, any specifics you would like, just send me an email, and more than happy to get in touch with you on that.
Awesome. Hopefully that's helpful, Jeff. Okay, well, any other questions here before we move into some smaller group discussion?
Perfect. And I just want to mention before, so I know you mentioned, Bridget, the Edmonton RIN that's happening. So the Regional Innovation Network. So if you're not aware, it's actually happening in Edmonton this year. And PIC is actually hosting one of the days on the 20th. So if you happen to register, you'll be able to come and give a wonderful tour, and I'll be able to meet you in person.
Awesome. Is that open registration, or is it invite only, or do you know?
I do believe it is open, but I can get confirmation on that.
Okay, cool. Okay, always fun to be able to explore what's happening in other areas of the province. I know most of this audience probably down in Calgary, but yeah, really cool. Thank you so much, Victoria, Susanna. Their info is there. Obviously, if you want to connect, have more questions, and or want to send some referrals their way, I know that's always appreciated. I will make quick mention that next week we'll be touring the old stack, which is related to agriculture. I don't have the exact name in front of me. We wanted to get there in person, however, just logistical challenges. But I know many of these talks are open to, for those who have physical spaces, machinery, sites to visit, that they're often open to just having folks come and walk through, especially if you're a referring partner and want to be able to really know. It's always better to have that kind of hands-on visualization of what's actually there and be able to refer entrepreneurs and innovators accordingly. So fantastic. What we are going to do now is we're going to head into some smaller groups and chat a little bit about either what we learned about today. We can talk, you can introduce yourselves and introduce maybe some of the work you're embarking on. If you need any help from others in the ecosystem, where it's a pretty small ecosystem, so we're generally just a few degrees of separation from any resource you might need. So we'll throw folks, that doesn't sound nice. We'll open the breakout rooms and you can join them by your own will. And we'll do a couple spins of this wheel. So you'll have about 5 to 7 minutes in this first room, and come on back and we'll spin the wheel and do it again. And if you have any technical issues, just come back to the main room and I'll be happy to help reassign you. Did lose some folks there in the process. That's okay. So a small group left. Are there any community announcements? Would folks like to? Oh, we're still pouring in a little more than
I've already got my hand up for it.
Okay, Ross is eager. What's up, Ross?
Civic Tech YYC coming up this Tuesday night. We're doing it on Zoom, but we're going to be talking about volunteer engagement on social media. It's going to be not just for Civic Tech, but a number of other related organizations I work with as well. Just trying to find out with the community kind of where people are at in social media, what they're engaging with most now with the whole lockdown of Twitter APIs and whole renaming thing and a whole bunch of other platforms trying different things, just trying to pulse and talk with the community about the best way to keep volunteers and people engaged. So you can come out and engage and talk and hear about some feedback there next week, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time online.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else have anything they want to share? Any happenings? Well, if you are on our mailing list, you should have received the Beneath the Canopy newsletter. Reach out if you're not on it. We've got tons of partner announcements in there. Al, if anyone has a VR headset and would like to join. I just borrowed one from Sept. My husband and I were going to share it and join that poetry event. That would have been awkward. Anyway, we didn't get the chance to, but I'll join one.
Awesome. I'll invite you to the
Okay.
coffee meeting.
Yeah.
I've got a headset I could use at the office here, so I might be able to try that.
Yeah, please do. We meet Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday mornings at 8 a.m. So it's usually people can kind of find their way into one of those. And we try some different environments and we just have a coffee chat. It's kind of like Jade Albert's business morning coffee thing in Inglewood, but you don't actually have to get out of your house and go somewhere.
Somebody asked in chat there, what platform is it on?
Well, we basically use on right now, and this can change obviously, but on Tuesdays we use Remio. Thursdays we try Glue or something else. We call it Road Trip Thursdays, and then Friday mornings we're in Horizon Workrooms.
Awesome. Awesome. So lots of people saying good to reconnect. It sure is. Next week we'll do another virtual, the final tack of the session, which is the one I mentioned in Olds. And then September 20th, we'll have a really fun event, Lunch Without Lunch at Platform Innovation Center in partnership with the city, Careers in Innovation and Technology, or some combination of those words, where we will be exploring the future of mobile development with a local mobile developer. So that's going to be super cool and a nice broad mixture of folks to mingle with there. It will be hybrid, but I urge you to attend in person September 20th. So on that note, we'll maybe just give everyone 1 minute of their day back and we'll sign off. Have a great rest of your week, everybody, and we'll see you all soon.